We will get going very shortly, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everybody's having a good day, or everybody rather. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day, night, morning, or afternoon, whatever time zone you happen to live in. I am going to be, first of all, before I get into what I'm doing in this live stream, let me thank anybody who tunes in or anybody who watches this video later. Thank you very much for tuning in. You know, the regulars, I'm pretty much starting to see who watches my videos the most consistently, and I appreciate that tremendously. Like I said, this Fallout 4 fan channel is just something that I do on the side. You know what I mean? As I'm getting better and better at actually creating content and really seeing what type of a schedule fits into my outside of Fallout 4 responsibilities and obligations. I've basically narrowed it down to a set schedule now, as far as not just the actual videos uploaded to the channel, but also the actual live streaming. Because of No Man's Sky coming on August 9th, which I am definitely going to be live streaming at midnight Eastern time here in the US. I'm going to be doing a live stream launch night. You know, getting used to the interface, what you're going to be able to do in the game. I'm really looking forward to No Man's Sky. I hope the hype that's led up to this point doesn't let us down. Like, you know, the hype never ever really matches any game that comes out. Like, nothing, even movies, books, music, nothing ever lives up to that type of a hype. But with that said, I am still looking at it from a perspective of it's going to be interesting, regardless of really what kinds of ratings a game like No Man's Sky is going to get. I'm not looking at it from that perspective. I'm looking at it as a open world, dynamic, persistent, galactic, I guess you could say exploration RPG. And so I'm going into that looking at the track record of the studio making it, Hello Games. You know, I'm looking at their previous work and what led them to do this current game. And it's, man, it's crazy because, like, you have another scenario that I try to make sense of it is if you look at Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is the creators of the Crash Bandicoot series. So, with that said, did anybody ever expect that looking at Crash Bandicoot, this fun, cartoonish, kooky type of character platforming game that they basically started out with alongside, I think the fighting game that they had created was called Way of the Warrior. Came out on 3DO, Panasonic 3DO. That was actually, I believe, Naughty Dog's first actual like console game. So look that up if you want. If you're curious about some Naughty Dog lore, check out Way of the Warrior. Like I said, Panasonic 3DO fighting game from way back in the day that me and my cousin used to play. But anyway, my point is nobody would have expected the team that created Crash Bandicoot to make something like The Last of Us. That transition. Like, yeah, Uncharted was relatively light, but it was intense. It was a dramatic, cinematic experience / adventure. Not open world. I can't even imagine if Naughty Dog was given the reins to actually create an open world Uncharted game. It doesn't have to be based around obviously Nathan Drake. Like, let's leave his story told. Let's create something new to progress the series and move it further. Leave Nathan Drake and his family and his past in the past, and let's move on to, if you can do a Nathan Drake, you can do something similar. It doesn't have to be a male character. Maybe it could be a female, or maybe it's Elena. Or let the player create. Maybe it could be some kind of situation where the actual child of Nathan and Elena could easily be fast forward into a few years, there you go. You have your new character. You let the player create their actual explorer, you know, because all the items and stuff you can actually get in an open world Naughty Dog type of Uncharted game would just be ridiculous. So anyway, enough of that. Welcome to the stream. I am going to be showing my finished. I just started a second one in a different settlement, so it's going to be an above ground a vault. But I was saving one of the actual settlements in general in anticipation for this Vault-Tec workshop to come out, because I wanted to use that particular settlement as an above ground vault while keeping obviously Vault 88 down here. So what I'm going to do is, this is many hours since release of this Vault-Tec workshop that I've actually been building my vault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to be as quick about it as I can. It's really big. Like, this vault is ridiculously big, so just bear with me. I want to show you the fruits of my labor. And again, any comments, negative, positive, I don't care what. Like I said, I do this for fun. You know, I don't take things to heart. I'm here to have a good time and to just show you some of the stuff that sucked me into Fallout 4. So yeah, this is the door that you can't open without actually doing where I just walked past. My bad. So we are opening my vault door, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I built. Again, I thank anybody for dropping in while I'm streaming this. Thank anybody for, you know, taking a little bit of time out of their day to come chill with me, excuse me, and, you know, take you through some of my settlements. I spent quite a few hours on the settlement mode in this game. Like I said before in past streams and in other videos, you know, settlement mode, no, it's not for everybody. And I understand that, because Bethesda didn't really build a massive reason for the settlements, you know, regarding importance to the player's character. I truly believe, even though I have been completely engrossed in the mode, it's shallow as far as reason to do it. You know, obviously you can set up economy systems to a degree. They're low-level types of economy, but after you get to a certain level in this game and you've done pretty much everything you could possibly do, and like, but yet there's still, that's the thing about this game that's just ridiculous, there's still always something new. Like, because the world is alive enough, I think that's one of the reasons why I have really not just the settlement mode, but Fallout 4 in general has just it's really been the only game that I've dedicated myself to since launch. And when I say dedicate, I mean it's my go-to game. You know, I played a few of the newer games. I do keep up to date with anything worth playing. So I do know, you know, what's competition as far as this game and what it's judged against. So I totally get that, and by no means is Fallout 4 perfect. Like, I'm sure during the stream it'll probably crash at least once. It might not, because it really doesn't ever crash on me. I think maybe I've had 1 or 2 instances the entire time I've played this game. So, but anyway, enough of me blabbering. So this is obviously where you would come off the actual, and you walk into the main entryway, which what I wanted to do was I wanted to go with a Christmas vibe. Even though, you know, where I live is obviously not Christmas, it's still, I'm just using the fictitious element of the game and how it lets you basically set up your own story outside of the actual quests and side quests. And I like that. That's one of the things that I do mostly love about the settlement mode, is the fact that it lets you, if you want to make a complete military installation, you can do that. If you want to make it just like a small wilderness type settlement camp, you can do that. If you want to make it a mix, if you want to make it like a marketplace, you know, where everybody comes around from all of the settlements to gather and, like, you know, trade goods and stuff like that, like, you can do any type of theme or themes in this game, basically, for your settlements and stuff like that, that it lets you develop kind of a personally created backstory to your character. Because like if you, just as an example, I have had people ask me questions like, oh, like, so how did you come up with the idea to do this? And so it led to a conversation of me explaining why a settlement looked a certain way, or why I did a certain thing throughout all of my settlements. It's to give it a unified aesthetic connection to every other settlement. And that's pretty much what I've done with my vault. If you notice, I keep the door closed most of the time because I'm at maximum size limit right now as far as settlers at my actual Vault 88. So with that said, so I've hit my settler limit, which is cool. I have them all outfitted, all armored, weaponized, the whole nine. Everybody's designated their positions. I have the whole thing laid out. So being how this is the first area that you enter, right off the bat, I want people to be like, okay, they come off the ramp, they're coming down the walkway, and what do they see? They see, okay, there's, guard posts set up. There's the Christmas tree right there. Okay, cool. So there's something going on with Christmas. And so I introduced that theme right off the get-go for the player coming out of the vault door and into the vault. So, and it's a lot of small minor, touches, like putting items of clutter on the tables, and, seats and stuff where they would sit, or just, all types of different aesthetic stuff is what I spent most of the time in this settlement build of Vault 88. Excuse me. Sorry, my mouth is for some reason very dry today. I've been drinking a lot of water too, which is weird. But anyway, so I kept the intro, not intro, the entryway of my Vault 88 simplified but to the point, protected to the point. Enough defenses up front to alert anybody else and hold off an attack long enough for anybody in the back vault to actually run up and assist. So it's all thought out. Like this entire vault, I'm letting you know right now, is meticulously thought out as far as the placement of any type of strategic defensive item or anything. So just keep that in mind. So I had a couple computer terminals. I had a couple more containers on top of the table. Another Christmas tree.
Need help with anything?
And then what I did was I wanted to do something different. So I was like, what? So I have access to these dogs, and they're great for sending to settlements. It helps as far as defense, which is cool. But I thought, what about if my vault dwellers, because it's predominant military, what if I created my own canine unit? And so that's what I did. I created my Vault 88 canine unit. So, there's a desk and a terminal inside for the trainer, whoever that may be, me or another settler, can go in and they can access the terminal, because I've seen them do it, which is cool. So yeah, I got my canine unit, another barrier with another guard. You walk through this defense and it leads you to the atrium. So right as you come in, your signs tell you the direction of what's what. And so first I'll show the actual canine unit. So it's nothing special. It's just a few dog houses, a couple dog bowls for each of the dogs that I have assigned to this. Like I said, this is like, these are like, in my mind, these are like the health monitoring stations of the actual animals. They can be hooked up to them, and various diagnostics can be like read on each of the dogs, performance-wise, health-wise, all that kind of stuff. And again, in my mind, this is like where the trainer or the canine agent would actually sit and could look up various types of files on each of the dogs, confirmed kills, injury reports, all that kind of stuff. And then I created this canine offensive training. So again, with the computer terminals next to them, I give it the impression that like these are operated and can do certain performance functions based on inputs from the actual terminal. So it enters into a type of training mode for the dogs to perfect their attack skills or their defensive skills. So in a way, I guess you could say that these mannequins in my mind are kind of like you know, automatic. All right, like I said, you know, keeping with the theme, you'll notice the Christmas theme throughout this entire vault. So this is the walkway. Oh, first, before I go into there, so if we come back around where we came in through the beginning area, and if you follow this desk,
hi, how are you?
Got your crates, just a little break table, another security desk, obviously another Christmas tree, keeping that vibe going, but it's used subtly, which is cool. So I decorated the workshop area a little bit. And then down here, there's no sign for it, which is unfortunate. I wish that there was like a specific sign for like computer room. That would have been really nice. Give me 1 second. But unfortunately, I have to work around that, so there's no sign that lets you know that this is the primary computer control room. So as you can see, I added a few computer terminals to it, and I added some aesthetic stuff just to make it a used space. So, you know, I added some signs on the walls, added the mats, the desk, added some clutter on the desk, toolboxes, tool storage containers, just some little side chairs on the corner for just whatever, you know. You got your generator, toolboxes hidden in the back. And then you got your main terminal area, you know, which I added some clutter. You got your beer bottle, technical documents, added a lamp. Oh, I forgot one of the technical documents. I'll just keep that one. I got enough. I know at least the ones that I placed will stay. That one I actually had up on top of here. But I guess the computer was just like, no, they can't stay there. So anyway. So yeah. It's my designated computer control room. It's pretty much like the controls that, you know, monitor, in my mind, everything that takes place in the vault. So that's that. Very cool, very cool. So now, if we actually go into the actual atrium, going back to what I was saying, is keeping to the Christmas theme. So you walk in, again, so you've got your defenses. But again, they're positioned in a realistic, subtle way, which is one of the things I really like about how my vault is set up is the actual defensive aspects of it. So just having a guard right here, boom, as soon as you come out of the entry tunnel, and boom, you come in, you're met with a guard who's got a blockade in front of them. So she's the first, you know, aside from the ones, she's basically first line of defense, boom. But then scattered behind her are support units that are ready to come up should an attack actually happen. So, you know, like I said, I'm going to explain this to the best of my ability while taking it slow enough so you can actually see stuff, because there is a lot to actually see visually. I'm pretty proud of how this came out. But I will keep to one thing at a time. So keeping with the Christmas theme, you know, you just got your entire atrium area is subtly decorated with various Christmas trees. So I have like this middle high traffic area like that. Came out good. So you know, you got plenty of benches. What I'll do is I'll just I'll take it room by room before I, you know, widen the actual tour. So let's see. So we came through the front. So here's the front, and here's the
Yes.
perspective of the guard. So anybody coming down the hallway, even if I'm out and I have to come up and assist, we've got a full, and there's enough space in the hallway between the main tunnel and this first barrier, where an enemy to advance is basically, because by the time other security comes up, whatever's in the hallway is done. So going back to what I was saying about the actual defenses, so I've got one set up here, and all the guards the actual settlers that I have assigned as guards patrol all of the actual defensive barriers that I have set up throughout the entire vault, and I've seen them actually walk the entire vault, going from checkpoint to checkpoint, and it's pretty cool. I'm very glad that they actually make that long of a like patrol route, which is really cool. So again, keep walking along the actual left-hand side of the entry into the atrium. Again, you'll see it's a place where you can just come to relax and chill and hang out and talk to other settlers. It's every little area is its own little intimate type of like gathering conversation like area. And I've seen my settlers be in all these various little areas that I've got set up in this vault, and actually utilizing certain tables and chairs, and like it just makes it seem more alive when they actually use the stuff that you've put down in the actual build. So I'm impressed. So like I said, another guard, at the bottom of the stairs here. Again, ready to move up to the entryway at any given time. Another little bench to sit on underneath there. Again, the Christmas trees just spread out in like strategic type like areas, sets the mood in a more believable way, with the actual Christmas theme that I have throughout. So this is the salon 88, and I kept most of the rooms or like businesses or whatever themed around 88. So just keep that in mind. Again, certain things I like to simplify. So the salon is set up. Again, simple, to the point, enough that it's good. It just works. The salon doesn't need to get overdone with decorations, because it's just a salon. Like every salon that I've ever been in has always been very tidy, neat, and very organized, and minimal items in the way as far as like decoration or anything like that. So so if we travel to, come back to the middle, we just give you guys a nice shot looking at the actual main lobby area. Just looks fucking sick. Excuse my French, but it just does. Because the Christmas theme and the Christmas trees, the way they're set out, just give it like that looks so like legit. It's not overdone. Like there's not millions of Christmas trees just in clumps. Like even inside, like I just kept it very simple. You've got one outside, so you don't need to overdo it inside. You just need one. People have already noticed, not only in the atrium, but coming to the actual entrance of the shops, that it's Christmas. And they come inside and they just keep that feeling keeps, that's what I try to do as far as the aesthetic, like emotion that I tried to set up with the lighting and the way I have this entire vault furnished and decorated. And it's carried out all throughout the entire vault, Um, Simple things like just crates stored under the stairwell, like, and again, keeping to the theme throughout, so no matter where you go, you're subtly still reminded that it's Christmas or the holidays. Um, so again, showing you the outside of the store, and if the door is shut, like, that just is so cool looking. So just going through. What I'll do is I'll take care of everything on this first floor, this first level first, and then I'll move on to the side areas, the tunnel system, and all the various other things that I've got excuse me, set up in my actual vault. So again, off the entry tunnel, you can go one of two ways. Well, actually three, because there's an exit zone for 5 years, because there's an upstairs, obviously, stairwells. But I'm talking about off the actual atrium itself, into separate actual parts of the vault. You can get, if you take this route, you can go to the reactor or the clinic. That's my medical center. Or if I go to the right, that will take us through the casino. So I think what I'll do is, because there's a lot to show in both sides, I will start with the reactor. Actually, you know what? Nope, scrap that. Scrap that. We are going to focus on the atrium still, because I have not shown the cafeteria. Again, guards walk their actual patrol routes, and they're constantly mixing it up. I constantly see different guards at different spots, like all throughout my time playing or building this. So it's kind of crazy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my cafeteria, which is located up here on the second floor. So again, certain areas in this actual vault are what I consider the main gathering points for the settlers. Which areas, I mean, would be used the most highly out of anything that I have built in this actual vault. So one of the main highly traveled and frequented areas is obviously where people have to eat. So that meaning I needed to build, excuse me, I'm looking at something on my phone. Okay, what I'm trying to say is the size of the cafeteria reflects how of an integral part that is to the actual settlement as a gathering place for people to come together, sit down, have meals together, have conversation together. So it has to be an important size reference to that actual importance in the role that it plays is what I'm trying to actually spit out. Wow. Sorry that was overcomplicated, but because the cafeteria / where everybody eats is one of the main gathering spots, I wanted it to be large. So this is the entrance. So again, keeping to the 88 Vault 88 theme, excuse me. I named it simply the 88 Cafe, because there is no other Vault 88, so that's perfectly fine. You come inside, and I use the booths on this first portion of the actual cafeteria. So, got my Coca-Cola clocks. And again, these are like little side private booths, or maybe a couple is coming in here to have a date, or whatever the case. A couple close friends just want to have some privacy and talk. That's what these little side privacy booths are basically set up for. And then you come into the main actual cafeteria area, and it's a restaurant, kitchen, dining room, all in one. So I I went in with the understanding that I didn't want to separate everything. I didn't want to have the kitchen as its own separate area. I wanted to have everything completely laid out. So that's pretty much why you see it set up the way it is. Again, I wanted to keep it simple, to the point, but cluttered enough with decorations and items and whatever to give the point of the importance and the role that the actual cafeteria plays to the rest of the settlers. So, give me one moment. So, as in any restaurant, diner, there's obviously side benches for people to sit and wait until the booth opens up if it's packed. So then you have your serving area. So this is where, like you'd see in like a Chinese buffet or something, they have it set up as like kind of like an island in the middle of the store or a restaurant, and food is always on serve. So, you know, this took a while to do, but every single compartment has its food in it, ready for any of the settlers to come and grab something to drink, grab their trays and grab, you know, rad scorpion steaks or ribeye steaks, roasted mirelurk. You know, you got to get your fruits and vegetables too. So you got mute fruit, you got your potatoes. So it's an entire meal ready for any of the settlers to grab and eat if they're ever hungry. So in the back, you know, leads over here to the other side with the food. So again, more drink dispensers, and this leads to this little, obviously, soda vending machine area. More benches to just, you know, chill and wait. Over here you got your actual beverage dispensers. Shelf with just, you know, just a few items stored on it. There's a couple areas that I still actually want to go in and add just a few more things. Nothing major. For the most part, the entire vault is done. So like I said, with the Christmas theme, you know, it transfers over obviously into the cafeteria, with this being the main place where all the settlers come to eat. So it's obviously one of the main gathering points in the actual settlement. You know, I again, a couple more things with food. You got your cooking stoves in the background with a sink to wash your hands, whatever. Ice machine, more food, coffee pot. You got your espresso machines, obviously. A few more booths lined up all against the wall. And again, leads over here into like the midway point that divides the actual cafeteria. So kind of like a place where you can come and sit down and have your picture taken. Just thought of that as kind of something I could throw in with the holiday vibe, which is cool because it works. Again, got your cafeteria tables with your trays, coffee cups. So this walkway leads downstairs to the main atrium, or you can stay on the second level and you can actually go to what I'm going to show you next, which is my residential area. Again, I kept certain aspects of this vault build simplistic, decorated to a point, and organized. So as you come out of the actual cafeteria, you know, people want to come outside and sit down, eat outside the actual cafeteria. They have tables out here and a bench. Again, it's a gathering point for the settlers, so it's got to have utility as far as, you know, make aesthetic sense. So these are the residentials. Just small little, excuse me, hold on for 1 second. Okay, these are just basically small multi-person apartment living quarters that, like, this is how I wanted my vault to be set up. So like I said, there's multiple settlers that live in each one of these. They're decorated, and I kept them kind of like heavy propaganda. Just because, you know, go to sleep looking at propaganda, wake up looking at propaganda. It starts to sink in your mind to believe the propaganda. So I just pictured, you know, any other vault. It's the kind of stuff that they would have, just subliminal, you know. So again, I kept it simple. I tied them all into one, like the residential areas, actual living quarters themselves are aesthetically connected, but obviously decorated differently to each one their own like unique look. So again, more of the Vault-Tec propaganda posters spread out throughout the walls, but it's spacious enough, and it's decorated enough, and it's cluttered enough to look lived in. That's another theme that I was going for. So here we have number 3. Again, aesthetically connected to the other actual units, but decorated and furnished in their own unique individual way. You know, like that one over there has got a small table outside, just as this one does. You know, like, and they just came out good. Just like I said, I like certain things in my vault build. I wanted them, they had to be simplistic. All right, so that's the last actual residential unit. So what I'll do is I will take you to the 3rd floor. Again, actually, I'll finish off over here. Again, the Christmas trees, giving the more of the Christmas vibe as you go throughout the actual vault, leading up to the 3rd floor. And I chose to not put lights there for a reason. It's because this is a very with no lights, it lets everything down below illuminate and stand out much better. Whereas the overhead lights that I had here gave too much of a glow, and nothing below popped enough. It was kind of drowned out by the light above, so I took them out. But again, it's bright and illuminated where it needs to be, dark enough and shadowy to give a mysterious type of actual, like, lived-in area. You know, it's calming. It's not over militaristic. It's not over decorated. It's just very again, unified and simplistic. You know, and from this bridge you have a perfect view of the entire vault atrium. So it works out so much better where I position this actual bridge over to my main character's actual my created character, excuse me, overseer office, which is like my personal character's living quarters in my vault. So that's what's here on the 3rd floor, followed by, well, actually including my main security office, which is what you're seeing in front of me. So again, if you're up here on the 3rd floor, because this is my character's actual personal living quarters, I wanted to have the security office directly next to me, alongside only one singular entry point up to it. So, no matter what, for any certain reason, which it's never going to happen, but should the odd situation ever arise where all my settlers get taken out and enemies try to come up into my office, that hallway, that bridge is a choke point. Because even if they're down below, they're completely open from both sides. From both sides. So, again, strategically positioned. Here is your security for my Vault 88 build. Before I go in there, I'll show you the exterior perimeter actual hallway. Again, benches to sit, got some storage crates, one of the guard barriers, which again, if you are the guard, gives a great view of down below you. As the just over here, the Christmas tree, keeping with the Christmas theme. You walk through, got some more crates for storage. You come around here, another defensive barrier, and this is just like a little chill area, just like a lounge area where any of the settlers can come up here and just chill out, play a game of pool, talk to the guard on duty, whatever the case. Grab something to drink, sit down, have a game of chess. Then back here, obviously, another Christmas tree with a bunch of storage containers. Kept that space open for a reason. Nothing major, just something that I'm actually going to be adding there very shortly. So you got your vending machines. If you walk back around, I will show you walking into the actual security office. So I use the actual barred windows to go with the theme of it being security. Again, Christmas tree outside, only one on the inside. So I've got your security desks, small little arsenal,
There are some recent rumblings from good neighbors.
random decorations, handcuffs, weapon ready to go. Obviously, lockers to change into civilian attire, place to wait, sit down, take a break. You got your computer set up. You got a little repair table. There's a weapon getting modifications added to it. Another small arsenal on the wall. And then unfortunately you can't decorate the actual security desk, so I had to improvise, and I had to improvise and actually had to add my own. So again, adding the decorations to the top, that's important. Christmas tree inside, keeping with the theme of Christmas. So that's your security office. Well, one of them. Then if you exit the side, you actually come to the overseer's, office / my main character's living quarters. So you can see outside, I've got my office Christmas tree showing through the windows. Then if you go inside, so this is my character's main living quarters slash overseer office. So this is the main social area. So if you sit down in any of the chairs or sofas that I have around this entire area, you can see a TV from any vantage point, from any angle. So, it's a place for anybody in the settlement slash the vault to come in and hang out with my main character if they so choose. And this is the main social space for everybody to sit down and congregate together. So, like I said, I tried to think of everything. And from no matter where you are, seated around this area, you have a great view of the rest of the entire actual overseer office. So, that being the main social area, just a series of computer terminals set up, all powered so that the actual lights are illuminated. And then you get into the personal area of this actual main character area. So again, if you look at the social area, and so here's my overseer's desk. Just smack dab in the middle. Allows for a good view outside to security. So if anything does go down and they can't contact me through the terminal for some reason, they can use hand communication to let me know, or to simply just run in. So I have a meeting area with like the main personnel in the vault. So head of security, head of canine, head of medical, you know, those various individuals would come in here and sit down with me at this table, and there's files set up on the table to discuss, I don't know, maybe some type of new drug that's on the market, or new weapon schematics, or weapon upgrades available for maybe everybody else to get ready to pitch in for the rest of the settlers to equip with better weapons, whatever the case. Just random files for the individuals who actually come in down and actually have a sit down like meeting. So this is the meeting table, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry for again overcomplicating. Wow, my apologies. I didn't mean to stretch that out so much. This is a meeting table. That's all that is, just a meeting table. The various files, I don't know, maybe it could be files on actual normal settlers that live in the vault. Who knows? Use your imagination. So then you come into my personal characters, their own personal little training area. And in the back is obviously, we got my sink, my toothbrush and toothpaste. This is where my character sleeps. Got something to read. Side lamps, end tables, Vault 88 storage chest, my dressers, and I've got my armor racks, well, armor display racks. So that's my main character. My main character's main living quarters / overseer office in this actual vault. All right. So the next area. If we go through security, we go down to the second floor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. I'm going to show my reactor room and my clinic next. So that is over here off the atrium. Again, just showing you in relation to all the other areas in the actual atrium. So as soon as you come through the entry tunnel that leads into the actual atrium, this first side tunnel, this will lead you to the reactor and the clinic, the medical clinic. So, nice long corridor to give, scale to the actual vault. So, down the hall, the actual corridor, it leads to Vault 88's primary medical center. Obviously, it's open 24 hours a day. So, upon reaching this wall, you can go one of two ways. Into the waiting room. You can sit on either side, grab something to drink from the water fountain, make sure you took your medication for the day, and as you're getting a drink, just to send home the fact to get more drugs. More of the waiting room. Then I've got my nurse station. So, like I said, just various small items placed on the top for aesthetic detail. Obviously, if you're in the waiting room, you've got a TV to watch. I heard Please Stand By is honestly one of the most amazing television shows ever created. It's so good, in fact, that only a select few people can actually even see. It's actually there's actually a real television show that's playing right now, but we don't have the ability to decode the image on the actual screen, so we can't actually see the show. The show is that good that it's completely only a select group of people are allowed to see it, because they don't want people going out of their minds because it's so good. Like if you could rate a TV show at 10, this is 100. Like, it's just that good. Like, it's so good that petty people aren't even worthy of viewing it. Like, that's how good this TV show is. It's that good. It's that good of a show that it's hidden. Yeah, I'll be all right. Anyhow, it's my medical center. So you come off the waiting room. There's your nurse station. All set up, decorated. Got my surgical trays, got my stim pack, got my clipboards, files, various other items. Obviously keeping with the Christmas theme, I've got my Christmas trees. I've got my little storage carts, medical carts, whatever you want to call them, decorated with various little medical tools, another sink. This is where patients would come to see a doctor and actually give them something to cure their addiction to a chem, or maybe they've gotten a bullet wound, or maybe they've got shrapnel, or maybe they've just gotten some kind of burn. All these little various stations are set up for people to come and wow, I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. This is where the actual doctors would perform their diagnosis or surgery or whatever. Just these little side areas. And it's predominant minor injuries. Again, because the vault is so highly defended, nothing can penetrate the way I have this entire vault set up. And you'll see exactly why I mean when I say that is because it's actually impenetrable. nothing, nobody can attack this vault any longer. And you'll see. And if they do, they're done before they even know where they are. Simple as that. So while I'm here, actually no, I'll finish the tour of the medical center. So this is the main doctor's personal desks. So those who are actually in charge of these actual medical stations, these are their personal desks where they keep their files and specialty tools and specialty items, as well as their own personal Carlisle typewriters so they can write up obviously personal notes on patients. So it's completely detailed. Again, trying to keep complete immersion. And then off of that section is where we come to the actual patient recovery bay. And so it's just a series of five beds with dressers on the side of each one, and personal luggage underneath each one. Just set up for any inpatients to stay for their recovery. This is where they would be sent. So it's bed rest in shorter terms. All right, so off of that section of the actual medical bay, I can go back out up to the tunnel that leads to the atrium, or if I come back through, again, just showing off the actual main doctor's personal desks. Just one nice shot of the actual entire medical clinic. All right, so like I said, you can go through the patient recovery wing / bay, and follow the rest of the vault that way. Or here's one of my security zones for the exiting of the main vault. So, looks simplistic. You would think, okay, that leads to the outside, right? So as soon as you come outside, you're met with a turret down on the bottom. Over here on top of this platform, and one mounted up on top. So, nothing is coming into this door. Nothing. And for the simple fact that this actual vault door keeps any enemies from coming in. And so I used a trick to actually get this built into the wall, completely sealing this part of my actual vault, which lets me enter and exit the actual main vault structure at any point that I want, and exit zones such as this are scattered throughout the actual Vault 88 build. So this is one of them. So as you come through, you enter through obviously this cavernous tunnel. I kept that with no lighting for a reason, because this isn't a highly trafficked area. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be illuminated. Then we have over here is our second vault door. Again, even if enemies spawn in this area where I'm standing right now, where I've got my secondary water purifier set up, even if enemies are spawned in this room, they will not breach this actual first vault door. So it's a kill zone. If I enter it, any enemies in there as a spawn point are dead. So anyway, come back through the tunnel. I'm sorry, you come into the secondary tunnel. And this leads down into a much safer, homier subway tunnel and subway transit terminal. So using a different type of lighting schematic, I created a completely different type of atmosphere into the actual exterior areas of the actual vault. So all through the entire subway is where I used all of these various lanterns, because I wanted to have the actual subway lit up enough where it feels safer and it's more aesthetically moody, I guess you could say. So if you follow this section of the track, all I did was I added a nuclear generator, just pretty much just for aesthetic detailing. It's not really even really used for anything. If anything, the only thing that it's powering, oh, it's not even powering that. Okay, yeah, because I didn't want to hook those up. Yeah, so this is just a little side area, nothing major. Again, because I wanted to use the entire space of the entire vault area, is why I also did this to the external parts of the actual vault. So it's not just the actual vault area itself, it's everything outside of it, such as the subway. So seeing how this is an exit zone, and that actually takes me up to the actual Commonwealth. That could be a spawn point for enemies, but they're pretty much not getting past these Mark 7, Mark 5 turrets. And even if they do, like, there's nothing major in here for them to take or destroy anyway, except for that, which it's not powered anything, so I don't care about that. If you keep following the actual secondary tunnel, this just leads into another cavernous tunnel area, and this leads me to my other sealed off point using another vault door. So again, like I said, the vault is completely, entirely, 100% sealed, and that leads to another main section of the vault. So we follow the tunnel back through. So that direction is the exit to the Commonwealth. That leads to another section of the vault. So let's go back. If I want to, see, that's all blocked off. Perfect. That's all blocked off. So this point is completely defended, illuminated enough. We'll come back through. We'll go back into the actual main part of the actual vault, instead of these cave tunnels. Alright, so we're back in the medical wing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to follow this route through the patient recovery wing. We're going to follow this hallway. This leads to my reactor room. So here is just another chill spot. Again, because this entire vault is completely connected. So no matter which direction you go, it all connects. So every point leads to every other point. That's another reason why I have this set up the way I do. So just another spot off the main path to just sit down, grab something to drink, chill out, talk with a friend or any other actual settlers. If you keep following it around, this leads to a second sealed off exit zone. So if you come through this one, so you have an exit zone there, but off of it, I added the Flintlock pub. So this is just a little side pub right off the actual exit zone. Again, to give the illusion that every area in the vault is used by the actual settlers that live in it. So this is just a small little pub, nothing major, but this leads up to my actual gun range. So this is basically like a small little Vault 88 gun club. It's where you'd come, repair your weapons, buy ammo, and actually use target ranges. So if you come to the second level, is where the actual range is actually located. So you have the 88 gun range. Like I said, there's a vendor. I still got to get the guns for the wall. I got to go back to one of my main settlements and grab those. But so yeah, you come inside, and here's your shooting range. So basically I have it set up as like this machine right here can project like a holographic image on the actual targets. And so anybody using their actual weapons at the firing table would actually have to follow that holographic image and hit the designated points on the actual shooting mannequins. So yeah, this is just my small little shooting range. I still got to get weapons and actually put weapons on here on the tables, along with some mods and other various little aesthetic items and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's done. So like I said, you come back down, that leads into the actual little pub. Again, came out good. All right, so if you are in the pub, and like I said, this is another sealed off corridor, but this one leads to the tunnel that I was just at. So if I open it, like I said, it's completely seals the tunnel. Nothing is coming through this, which is why my Vault 88 never gets attacked. So again, that entry leads to its own separate area of the actual subway tunnel. So again, everything in the vault is completely linked. So I don't need to go through that again. So we'll go back into the actual main vault. So if we go back up to the top and we continue to follow this corridor around, see, that leads to the chill spot. And then if we keep going around here, I just added some storage barrels and some storage boxes. Obviously, more benches to sit on. And this leads to my reactor room. So I kept this hallway dark for a reason. So just another small little security checkpoint. And if you follow this completely around, this leads to my actual reactor room itself. So these reactors are powering my entire vault. So the way I have my vault room set up, my reactor room, is I've got two of the largest, so I have maximum electricity being generated, excuse me, through my actual vault. What I did was I actually set up like work terminals. So in my mind, again, keeping with like my little personal story that I'm creating through my settlements, you've got workstations set up. So, various circuit boards stored on the cart, computer terminals, personnel desks, some tools to repair in case something might happen to the actual generators themselves. Just regular maintenance. And the second personnel desk, more terminals. So that's my reactor room. Then if you keep following the reactor room off through here, this leads to my hydroponics wing, which is where I have all my food crops growing and being harvested by the settlers that are assigned to them. So again, just random decorations like the crates, the Christmas tree to keep in, tie into the theme of the actual Christmas vibe that I got going on through the whole vault. So this is the actual main corridor that actually leads into my hydroponics area. So the outside is, again, not overdone with decorations, but keeping with the vibe of the Christmas thing that I got going through. So if you go into the actual place where I have my crops growing, so there's, for the workers to chill, grab something to drink, hang out, take a break from the actual work of the actual tending to the crops. I've got these little tables and stuff set up. And then I've got my actual crops. So I'm generating quite a bit of food, more than enough that I need for this actual settlement, which is cool. But it's filled out, which I wanted it to be huge. Yep. So over here you have just some side tables, maybe they come and chop up some of the fruits and vegetables, get them ready to send to like, caravan traders or whatever. And if you follow this all the way to the back end of the actual hydroponics wing, you have another security barrier, this time with a couple turrets, and you have another sealed off vault door, excuse me. Wow. So if you open this one and follow this tunnel, again, this is completely sealed off in two ways. So this is the first. So again, turrets mounted on the little metal platforms just outside. And if you follow this, you come to a second vault door that is completely sealed into the actual concrete or stone of the wall itself of the actual cave, is what I'm trying to say. Man, I'm sorry guys, I can't talk today. I think I was up way too late last night. My apologies. So anyway, if you go into, so just so you can see that better. So it's sealed. So if you come through this vault door, again, enemies can't penetrate this door as well. So this acts as another blocking point. So you follow this tunnel. This leads up to, I still got a couple things that I want to add here. And this isn't finished yet either. So those are the only two areas that I still have to complete and add stuff to. Being this room right here. And then if you come up these stairs, this area still needs to be decorated and finished out, which I'll get to eventually. It's just not a major point, because I honestly do not come here very often. But before I go that way, I'm going to make this a full-fledged store. So this is all going to eventually get done, and it's going to be an actual used space. So this is going to become a legit store. I am going to add stuff to all the shelves. I'm going to add lighting, but I will get there later. So if we come back down to the bottom and we follow this tunnel, this will lead so you can't go into there. So it's a no entry point. I did that for a reason. So now I come down the tunnel. See, so that's where we came from. And then if we follow this, yep, I know exactly what I'm going to do with that whole area now too. So when I come back to this later, when I stop streaming, I can finish that off. So again, completely sealed off tunnel. Nothing's coming in or out. Nothing's penetrating those doors. So again, another area where my vault is completely sealed from any types of attacks, whether that be by raiders or gunners. All right, so that was my hydroponics area. And if we come back outside to the main entry area, so that's the hallway that we came down. Then we entered into the hydroponics slash food crop area. So if we follow this, leads into our fitness center. So this is my vault's primary fitness center for the actual settlers. So again, simplistic, but set up to a immersive level. So you got your lockers for changing on both sides. You've got your pommel horses, you've got your weight benches, you got your various power cycles, obviously your signage, obviously a Christmas tree, keeping with the Christmas theme. So that's my fitness center. All right, so off the fitness center, you can go one of two ways. You can go to my upstairs armory, but I'll show you the laboratory area first. So again, propaganda posters, Christmas tree for the Christmas theme. You got your bathroom. It's a unisex. So now we'll show my actual armory. So you enter in. So this is my armory. So So as you can see, the entire center floor is devoted to all my heavy gun racks. So just to show you, targeting quad barrel missile launcher. I've got my high powered minigun. I've got my scoped hooked harpoon gun. I've got my experimental MIRV. High powered shredding machine gun, or minigun rather. I've got my maximum capacity huge napalmer. I've got another experimental MIRV and another maximum capacity huge napalmer. So my heavy weapon racks are displayed as you're walking through the middle actual flooring of the actual armory. Then all along the exterior walls is where I actually have the actual armory racks. So that's on the both left and right side. And yes, this took me a hell of a long time to freaking do. But the end result is so worth it. So like I said, both walls completely decked out in armory weapon racks. And also along the perimeter, as you can tell, is I've got my various armor racks. I'm sorry. All this time I've been saying armor racks, I meant weapon racks. All those weapon racks on the side walls. Okay, correction made. So these are my armor racks. Just various sets of armor. No specific reason why any of these are on here. Just grabbed what came to mind.
Up next is Connie Allen. Here's Rocket 69.
Lots of weapons. Lots of weapons. So this is the main, I guess you could call, main storage area of the armory. Yeah, you could, because that's what this is. Yep. So this is the main storage area. Another set of armor. Then you have your repair tables. So, people that come here, any of the settlers, myself included, would come here. This is where we'd attach mods or whatever, or just do some quick minor maintenance on our weapons. Another set of armor on the rack. And so this would be the repair center of the actual armory. I still got to fill in the rest of these. I have plenty of suits of power armor, so I'm not worried. It's just I haven't gotten a chance to actually switch back and forth from settlement to settlement grabbing them. So I'm going to have 4 of the more rare types of power armor are going to be on display in these. So right now I've got my Vim, one of the Vim. I've got my green Vim over at my other settlement that I'm going to grab soon. So that'll be 2 of the Vim, well, both of the Vim actually. And then the back wall, just a shelf with toolboxes, a couple more racks of armor. And then you got your workbenches, supply carts, various toolboxes. Yep. So you got both your weapon rack workstation, and you've got your armor workstations. And so that's your armory for Vault 88. All right. So if we exit the armory, so we initially came from this hallway over here, from my hydroponics area. We came through the fitness center. So if you come over, so down there leads to the laboratory and the armory entrance. So if you follow this stairwell, again, keeping the corridor itself long, this leads to my Lucky 88 casino. security desk for security personnel on duty to come and actually keep tabs on the casino, make sure there's no crookedness. And then you've got your various actual slot machines set up. So I've got these little islands, little kiosks set up in the middle of the floor. And then obviously all along the exterior wall. And then we've got my, neon signage, Vault Girl statue. Nice and dim to keep that nice moody feeling. And then you've got your bar area. So fully decorated bar. Various aesthetic items. Ashtrays, cigarettes, various bottles of alcohol, glasses to drink out of, and your signage behind the bar, your stools to sit at. And then this is your secondary entry into the casino that leads off of the actual main atrium. So like I said, everything is connected. Everything leads to one point to tie it all together. So as you can see, atrium, cafeteria, commissary is right over here. So the entire vault is completely connected in every direction. So now that I have given the complete full tour of my vault, it took 1 hour and 27 minutes. 1 hour and 27 minutes just to show you guys my actual vault build.
Hi, how are you?
That's the size of it. And I took my time pretty much too. I didn't rush. So I don't think we touched on this area. So off of the main actual atrium area. So again, here's your entry tunnel that leads to the main vault door. This is where we enter the atrium. So if you follow to over here, we have a third exit zone. Not only does it have an actual vault door, but it has an actual vault door. There's very few times where you can say something twice, but it means two different things, or represents two different things, because there's two different vault doors. That's a vault door, and that's a vault door. So anyway, yeah. So you come through here. So that's the first sealed door that's built into the wall. Completely built in. Nothing is penetrating that wall. That vault is completely sealed off by that actual vault door. And then you come to a secondary on this platform outside. Again, seals off the entire tunnel. Completely seals off the tunnel. So you open the second vault door. And as you can see, this leads down into another main area on the exterior tunnel sections of the actual vault space. So, I was going to link more tunnels down through here, but I decided that no, I wanted to still have some of the subway. I wanted to keep, just for mood, I wanted to keep some of the actual subway intact. So, there's one of two ways that we can go. I have another vault door sealing off this tunnel. Again, it's sealed. Nothing is coming through that. It is completely sealed. So I can take that actual vault door to that other tunnel. Or I'm going to take you to my actual water treatment plant, which I still need to add a few things to, but the structure is built and completed. So what I need to add now is I need to actually add my my lamp posts for the actual exterior illumination. So this is my reactivated completely defended water treatment facility. And as you can see, it's a multi-floor actual facility. So I will approach this from the entry, the main. Okay, so we'll go the first floor first. So this leads to the top level. So if you follow this staircase, follow this walkway, see a good view of how this is set up. Again, that's the tunnel that we came in. So I've got the actual Vault-Tec water pump is on. It's connected to this generator. So as you can see, this is completely built out. So if you follow this top floor walkway, you'll notice that I have continuous defenses. Leads right back down to the second floor. And off the second floor, again, if I come up this set of stairs and I follow this ramp down, this leads me over the actual water. As you can see, the walkway is completely with the mesh flooring, so you can actually see the actual water below it. And then if I take this little staircase down here, this leads out into an overlook to the actual vault. So it lets you see a nice shot of the actual vault structure itself from a completely different perspective. And it's completely, you know, this lookout point is completely sealed off, which is awesome. So if I keep following the walkway on the second floor, it completely wraps around and leads right back over here. That's my treatment plant for water. So if we come back through the tunnel, and then we come over to this actual vault door. Completely built into the wall, seals off the entire tunnel. So there is, like I said, with all these exit zones that I have set up with the sealed vault doors, there is nothing, no enemies are attacking my vault. None can get inside. And it finally started to rain. It's been waiting to do that all day. So as you can see, I have this entire area, which I still need to build in. So if I follow this up top, so I have quite a bit of room still to make even more for my vault. So I could easily do a secondary smaller vault in this entire area because it's so far from the actual main vault, where I could build an entire second mini vault in this entire space throughout here, because it also falls all the way down through here. So I have a large area to still build even more, so I can have a smaller actual vault down here as well. So again, my main vault, atrium, security, all those kinds of things, cafeteria, residential, armory, casino, all those main hubs in the main atrium. That is all complete. And I still have a second vault that I can build in that area that I just showed you. So it's actually a staggering amount of build space that they gave us in this DLC. So, that is Vault 88, or my interpretation of my Vault 88 build, how I wanted it to be. It's Christmas time in Vault 88, as you can clearly see. So, yeah, that is my vault. Still got some work to still do, which is great, because I'm not even bored with this yet. Like I said, having all this workspace and build space where I just showed you to actually let me build a second vault is kind of ridiculous. So again, guys, I thank anybody for sharing a little of their time today to watch this stream, and anybody who watches this video after it gets posted to my channel. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope to see you on the next live stream for Fallout 4: The Wasteland Outpost. You guys have a good day. Be safe.